You're the one everyone calls strong, the one who always seems fine. When someone asks how you're doing, you smile and say, "Oh, I can't complain." And then you change the subject before they can look too closely. You've done it so many times it's automatic now. But here's what you may not realize. That smile isn't hiding your pain from other people. It stopped doing that a long time ago. It's hiding your pain from you. There are 8 traits running underneath that reflex, and the 8th is the one nobody ever says out loud. Not to a doctor, not to the person they love, not even to themselves. Trait 1. Always looking fine. Before you walk out the door, you check yourself one more time. You straighten up, you put the face on, shoulders back, chin up, the pleasant expression set in place. And you've done it so many times, you don't even notice you're doing it anymore. It's automatic. This looks like just being someone who has it together. It isn't. Somewhere a long time ago, you learned that looking fine was the only version of you that felt safe to show. Not the happiest version, the safe one, the one nobody worried about. Here's what's really going on underneath. If nothing looks wrong, nobody gets close enough to see what's actually wrong. The polished front isn't pride, it's distance. Keeping everything looking fine keeps people at arm's length, and arm's length is where you feel like you can manage. There's a name for this exact pattern. Dr. Margaret Rutherford calls it perfectly hidden depression, where a need to look perfect, a heavy sense of responsibility, and appearing successful on the outside all sit right on top of private pain. The success is real, so is the pain. They just live in separate rooms, and only one of those rooms has the lights on. So, when you catch yourself getting the face just right before you leave, understand what you're really doing. You're not being vain. You're rehearsing a version of yourself you can survive being seen as. The perfect front is about how you look. The next one is the same wall, moved to how you talk. Trait 2, turning it into a joke. You're at dinner with old friends. Somebody asks how you've really been, and for just a second, the true answer rises up. Honestly, I've been struggling. You feel it reach the back of your throat. Then you swallow it, smile, and say, you know me, can't complain. So, anyway, tell me about you. There it is again. The line, and then the subject changed before anyone can look too closely. This looks like being one of those relentlessly upbeat people. But that quick answer wasn't a lie. It was a translation. Your pain turned into something light enough for the table to hold. Think of a joke like a pressure valve. It lets a little of the real feeling out, just enough, and then it seals up again before anyone notices the pressure was ever there. The laugh ends the moment gracefully. The ache stays yours. The room stays comfortable. Everyone goes home lighter, except you. This sits right next to what a sociologist named Arlie Hochschild called surface acting, where you carefully manage the face you show other people, while the feeling underneath goes completely untouched. You're not handling your own sadness. You're handling everyone else's comfort with it. Those are 2 different jobs, and you only ever get thanked for one of them. So notice what that quick laugh is really for. It isn't there to be funny. The punchline is doing the work of ending the conversation before anyone can ask a second question. The joke steers the talk away from you. The next one turns the whole thing around, pointed at everyone else, so it never has to point back home. Trait 3, reading everyone. So you walk into a room, and within a few seconds, you've read it. Whose face is tight? Who's gone quiet? Who's saying they're fine and clearly isn't? Who could use somebody to change the subject for them? You've picked up all of it, before you've even once checked in with yourself. People call this being a pushover, or too eager to please. That's not what this is. This is a kind of radar, tuned so finely that you catch other people's low moments before they catch them themselves. It's a rare gift. Most folks never develop it. And it keeps getting mistaken for being fake, when it's honestly the opposite. But here's the cost. That radar is pointed outward all the time. Every channel is tuned to somebody else. There's nothing left over to pick up your own signal, so you get to yourself last. And on a hard day, you don't get to yourself at all. You can spend a whole evening quietly minding the mood of 6 different people, and drive home with no idea what you yourself felt the entire night. You weren't really in the room. You were taking care of it. So, sit with the strange loneliness of this one for a second. You can name what every single person in that room was feeling, except the one wearing your face. Reading the room is a real gift. But watch what happens when that gift slowly hardens into a job you can't put down. Trait 4, the one who fixes everything. You are the person people bring their problems to. The steady one, the one everyone calls when it all falls apart. The strong one. But look at the other half of that. You are almost never the person anyone asks about. And on the rare occasion somebody does ask, really ask, you brush it off on instinct. Oh, don't worry about me, can't complain. Tell me more about you. This gets called bottling things up. It's older than that. Way back, you were the child who quietly became the one holding the family together. You managed the moods, you kept the peace, and when you grew up, nobody ever told you the job was finished, so you just kept doing it. Psychology has a name for this. It's called parentification, first described by Salvador Minuchin in 1967, and expanded by a researcher named Bosormenyi Nagy in 1973. It's the emotional version, where the child ends up being the parent's support instead of the other way around. And the grown-ups who come out of it tend to share 3 things. They overfunction, they have a hard time letting anyone take care of them, and they hide what they feel almost without thinking. You didn't choose to be the strong one. You were handed the role before you were old enough to understand it. So, see the deal for what it really was. Being needed became the thing you traded for, never being asked about. And that trade was running for years, before you ever noticed it was a trade. You handle everything on the outside, but there's one place that quietly refuses to keep the secret, and the people who love you have been reading it for years. This next one isn't psychology, it's anatomy. Trait 5, your eyes can't fake it. Remember what I said at the start? Your smile stopped hiding your pain from the people who love you a long time ago. This is why. And every trait from here on bends toward the 8th. The one nobody ever says out loud, even inside their own head. There's a certain kind of photo of you. The smile is perfect. Everything's where it should be, but something in the eyes looks tired, and you can't quite put your finger on why. Maybe someone once mentioned it, gently. You looked a little off in that picture, and it caught you off guard because you had no idea how they could possibly tell. This isn't you being two-faced. It's the opposite. The most honest part of you is still alive, right there in your eyes, waiting for someone who knows where to look. Here's the anatomy of it. A real smile, the kind researchers call a Duchenne smile, pulls in the little muscle around your eyes, not just the muscle at the corners of your mouth. That eye muscle is almost impossible to fake on purpose. It was mapped out in a system created by a scientist named Paul Ekman. And in what doctors call smiling depression, the smile keeps showing that same tell. The mouth turns up, but the eyes stay switched off. Now, put that together with the suppression research James Gross ran at Stanford back in 1993. When you push a feeling down, you can stop it from showing on your face. But the body's alarm system keeps going off underneath. The stress doesn't disappear, it just goes looking for another way out, and the eyes are where it slips through. So hear this clearly. The people who love you have been reading your eyes for years. That isn't you being paranoid. That's how they always knew. The eyes tell the truth to other people. But late at night, alone, there's no one there to see them. And that's exactly where the next one lives. Trait 6, never asking for help. It's 2 a.m, you're handling something all by yourself. That one phone call to someone who loves you would sort out in 5 minutes. You know that. And still, picking up the phone feels heavier than just carrying the whole thing alone until sunrise. This looks like being cold or fiercely independent. It's neither. A long time ago, you did a piece of math. You worked out that needing people cost more than doing it yourself. And here's what matters. Back then, that math was right. It genuinely was. It just isn't right anymore. And nobody ever went back to update the numbers. There's a name for this. It's called counterdependence, a fear of leaning on anyone at all. And Dr. Jonas Webb lists it as one of the grown-up signs of childhood emotional neglect in her book, Running on Empty. And the important thing about that kind of neglect is that it's about what didn't happen, not about harm that was done. Nobody had to hurt you. It's the emotional need that went unanswered, quietly, often enough that you learned to stop having needs that anyone could see. I've noticed that the people who handle everything at 2 a.m. are almost always the first person somebody else would call in a crisis, and almost never the person anyone thinks to check on when everything's quiet. So, say the real equation out loud. Asking for help hurts more than fixing it alone at 2 AM. Somebody taught you that math. You didn't invent it. But even when someone finally sits down with you and asks the softest possible question, something else goes wrong. The words themselves just aren't there. Trait 7. Feeling it, but can't name it. Someone who truly loves you asks you the gentlest version of the question, "What are you feeling right now?" And your mind goes completely embarrassingly blank. It's not that there's nothing there. You can feel it in your chest. Your jaw is tight. Your sleep has been off for weeks. But when you reach for the word to describe it, the shelf is empty. This gets read as being distant or shut down or shallow. It's none of those. You feel everything. You feel it in your body, loud and clear. You were just never taught the words for it. That's not a lack of depth. That's a language nobody ever handed you. It even has a name, alexithymia. A psychiatrist named Peter Sifnios came up with the term back in the 1970s, and there's a questionnaire that measures it called the Toronto Alexithymia Scale. It has 3 parts: trouble figuring out what you feel, trouble putting what you feel into words, and a mind that keeps drifting toward the practical and the outside world instead of what's going on inside. And it shows up far more often alongside depression and anxiety. Picture a feeling that arrives with no label on it. You know it's there. You just can't sort it, and you can't hand it to anyone. So, let this one be gentle. It isn't that you don't feel. It's that no one ever handed you the words for what you feel. And a smile is one of the few things that still works when the wiring for everything else was never put in. If the words were never there, then there's a question none of us really wants to say out loud. Who exactly has been living underneath all of them? Trait 8. Losing the real you. There's a fear you've never actually said out loud. Not to a doctor, not to the person you love, not even, in plain words, to yourself. It's this. If you finally took the smile all the way off, you're afraid there wouldn't be anyone underneath to meet, and read that fear carefully because it's easy to get wrong. It isn't that people wouldn't accept the person under there. It's the quieter, colder thought that there isn't a person under there to accept anymore. Remember how this started? The smile stopped hiding your pain from other people a long time ago, and it turned inward. This is where it ended up. It didn't just hide your pain from you. It slowly hid you from you. This is the one that looks like being fake. It's the furthest thing from fake there is. It's the loneliest kind of loneliness, the kind that has nothing to do with how many people are around you. You could be surrounded by family. It comes from a lifetime of no one ever meeting the person underneath. And here's the part almost nobody admits. You're one of the people who never got to meet them either. You're not just lonely for company. You're grieving a version of yourself you never got the chance to become. Look back at the 7 traits before this one. Every single one was the mask, laid down over the real you. This one is what happens after you've worn that mask long enough. It stops being something you put on. It becomes the wiring. The face you practiced in the mirror all those years ago slowly turned into the only face you have. The cover grew into the very thing it was covering. And that is why this video found you tonight. Not because you hide. Plenty of people hide. It found you because you can't quite remember the shape of what's hidden anymore. The mask went quiet, and so did whatever used to be behind it. So here's the thing nobody admits. The scariest part isn't that people wouldn't accept you underneath. It's that you're not even sure who's under there anymore. And that private wordless fear is exactly why this video is still playing. Every one of these 8 traits is the same single skill, worn 8 different ways. The skill of making sure the room never has to carry you, of always being the strong one, the one who can't complain, the one who's fine. You got so good at it that the smile stopped protecting you from other people and quietly started protecting you from yourself. That's the whole story. 1 skill, 8 disguises, a lifetime of being okay so nobody had to ask if you were. So I'm not going to ask which one you are. I'll ask this instead. Which one did your body recognize before your mind caught up? Just tell me the number, that's all. And listen, before you go, if even one of these landed tonight, that isn't weakness. That's the most honest moment you've given yourself in a long time. Sit with it for a second. Don't rush past it the way you rush past everything else. You don't have to fix all 8 by morning. You don't have to tell anyone. You just have to stop pretending you don't see them now that you do. The strong one is allowed to be tired. The one who always says can't complain is allowed to just once. The person who carries everyone is allowed to be carried too. Start there. That's enough for tonight. I'm glad you stayed. I really am. And if this is you, the next one goes deeper. Childhood emotional neglect, the 6 signs you raised yourself. Because it's the root underneath most of what you just felt. It's on your screen now.